saw them with it off, you'd be like, yeah. Oh.
There's a funny video. There's a funny video on YouTube at the moment of a first-time dating couple, and the girl is quite beautiful, and she's saying to the guy, I'll need to see your bank account. I'll need to see your bank account. And he says, why? Oh, and the guy said, no problem. She said, so that I know I'm not wasting my time. And he says, that's okay. And out of his pocket, he pulls a scales. And he said, here, stand on this. And then he gets the wipe. Said, stand on this and take your makeup off. And she said, what now? He said, yeah, so I know I'm not wasting my time.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Which is...
It makes
fair.
sense. That makes total sense, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the women in America. They've changed a lot over the years. They've changed so much. It's hard to date. It's hard to date back in America.
When I was living in Florida, in Fort Myers, there's a very wealthy area that's off a little bit obviously out of Fort Myers, and I looked on the personals, for dating, looking in there, and one woman said must earn $130,000 a year. That was her.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's what the world's coming to now. At least there. I hope it doesn't happen here. You never know.
Well, did you see about the? Oh, they had a name for it, bro. The something bro, travel bros.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Did you see that? Mostly,
passport bros.
The passport bros, and I think that they were mostly African American guys who were just so tired
fed up
of it that they were coming to the Philippines.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of YouTube videos of these, African American women that are chastising these guys. And the guys come right back and say, you see what she's saying? This is why we got to get away from that.
Yeah.
And they're all like yelling at him and stuff in their car and all this stuff. And these guys, and that's why we want to get away from that.
Actually, there was 2 or 3 channels run by black guys, very savvy. Did you see the one where there's 3 guys? There's 3 black guys. Yeah, and they're very smart. But
guys.
there was one. I think his second name was Samuel. Very sharp man. Always beautifully dressed. Wore glasses. Always beautifully dressed. He was ruthless, and he used to have people on, and it would show him sitting on mic, and the person that was calling in would be in a little picture down here, so you saw who she was. And some of the women that he interviewed, he said, so what's your expectations? And she said, one woman, and quite a few of them were like this, they wanted to meet a basketball player or a footballer. And they expected them to be earning hundreds of thousands of, and Samuel, actually, the man died. He's gone now. But he did marvelous interviews, and he said, "So, are you married? Were you married?" Said, "I'm divorced." Who initiated the divorce? Oh, the woman did. And apparently, statistically, mostly women. It's more women who seek the divorce than men.
Right.
And then he would say, do you have children? Yeah, one said, yes, I have 3 children. Said, by the same man? No.
Yeah.
And
Whatever
he said,
happened.
why? He said, and I really learned something from this. He said to one woman, why did you divorce your husband? And she said, I just wasn't happy anymore. He wasn't making me happy. And he said, don't you know it? It's not about happiness. He said, what about fidelity and loyalty and trust and honesty? Qualities.
Yeah.
I really learned something from that now.
I mean, what happened to relationships in the past? Two people would meet. Doesn't matter how much money you have in your bank account. And usually, you know, so young people meet, and they don't have a whole lot of money because they're young. So they meet, and one or two of them get a job, and they work together to build their life together, build their house, build their home, and their family. Now it's like you said, let's see what you got in your wallet before
Yes.
I go on a date with you.
Yes. Crazy.
Yeah.
And I get, and when I see these criticisms of, especially of Filipinos get bashed a lot for being materialistic. That's all that. In fact, isn't that the worst phrase of all? Is no money, no honey.
Yeah.
And yet, when I met Beth, I had two, which is all I've got now, very modest pensions from working in the UK, and I was 20 years in America. So you can imagine how small that pension is. And we had nothing. And we came to Bohol with nothing.
But you were happy.
Yes, but there was no money. There was no money. Sometimes at Nanai's house, the bedrooms at Nanai's house were slatted bamboo. So if you dropped a coin, it went straight through. And sometimes, just to be able to get to Taliban on the bike, I had to go under the house
To collect the coins.
to find the coins, so that we'd have the gas to be able to go and check the ATM.
Yeah, and look at you now.
Yeah, but we
You
worked.
worked hard. You worked hard.
So, I've quite often get people who say, how come you suddenly got wealthy? A sudden,